A reaction you might not be expecting from somebody you love and care about when you become more authentically aligned with yourself and start being more honest with yourself and therefore others is a little bit of surprise, maybe a little bit of like feeling betrayed, like it feels like a different person walked in the room. This is a normal reaction because the unveiling is often surprising. For you, it's expected because you've been doing all the inner work. You've been working on yourself. You've been having conversations with yourself. And sometimes we make this big radical change in our lives because we're growing and developing as human beings, which you should be. And we're talking about good change here. We're not talking about toxic, weird-ass change, okay? That can be addressed in a different way. But we're talking about healing, growth, development, authenticity, okay? The shock that happens is normal and uncomfortable. And it's what we do afterwards that decides whether this relationship is now toxic or supportive. Okay? So now that the shock and awe is over, if the follow-up is immediately anger, shaming you back into the person you used to be because they only liked the old version of you, which, by the way, might be a reason you haven't unveiled yourself yet because you've been like, they only like this weird curated version of me and they're gonna hate me if I'm real with them. That's toxic. Okay? If the immediate reaction is shame and anger towards you for growing and developing as a human being, that is no longer and maybe never has been a supportive relationship. If the follow-up emotion is curiosity because they're like, oh my God, you're like a different person. But then they're like, oh, what made this change? Oh, why have you been feeling like that? Why haven't you felt safe sharing that with me? It's curiosity diving into your growth, your development, and interest in getting to know you and interest in supporting this new phase of you. That is an important lesson that I wish I would have learned earlier because a lot of times I got met with that surprise reaction of both toxic and non-toxic people, and I immediately retreated back to an older version of myself and stopped growing because I didn't like that uncomfortable reaction and I didn't have the information to know to push through that to get to the other side. So sharing is caring. Love you guys. Hope that was helpful.